Breaking news right now at 4. A rough day on Wall Street. Stocks plummeted more than 1,000 points from opening bell, and they never recovered from there. Welcome to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. I'm Najahe Sherman. Investors on Wall Street, along with all Americans, are taking in the president's new tariff plan. CBS News Miami's Erica Brown has more details from the White House.
Markets tumbled Thursday as nervous investors reacted to President Trump's sweeping new tariffs.
The markets are going to boom, the stock is going to boom, the country is going to boom.
Trump previously acknowledged there may be some temporary pain as a result of new tariffs, but says they are necessary to bring manufacturing back to the U.S.
We're up almost to $7 trillion of investment coming into our country, and you'll see how it's going to turn out. Our country's going to boom.
And across the board, 10% tariff on all imports is set to begin Saturday. Then added reciprocal tariffs start next week. The administration's 25% tariff on all foreign vehicles and auto imports kicked in at midnight. Canada, one of America's largest trading partners, says it's retaliating against the auto tariffs.
By matching the U.S. approach with 25% tariffs on all vehicles imported from the United States that are not compliant with CUSMA, our North American Free Trade Agreement.
And car maker Stellantis says as it continues to assess the tariff impact, the company will lay off roughly 900 U.S. employees, at least temporarily, and is pausing production of facilities in Mexico and Canada. Erica Brown, CBS News, the White House.
Our team coverage continues now with CBS News Miami's Morgan Reiner. She has a look at what the tariffs mean for businesses at South Florida's ports.
Port Miami is more than just beautiful. In 2023 alone, the latest year the county has data for, the port traded $47 billion worth of goods. The port trades with over 140 nations. Here's a breakdown of the top importers by value.
Coming in from China, they're paying 10% as of April 5th, 34% as of April 9th, even cancellation of some orders and cancellation of some cargo coming in due to the fact that it's no longer a viable business.
Gabriel Rodriguez is a local customs broker. He facilitates trade deals between foreign markets and the U.S. One of the businesses that canceled their export to the U.S. Thursday morning makes Christmas decorations.
It's an immediate impact. I think that's what most people are reeling from, is that they didn't have time to prepare for this.
In terms of what's being imported, machinery is number 1, followed by apparel and textiles, scrap metal at number 3, and vehicle parts at number 4. At Rick Case Honda, CEO Rita Case says all car manufacturers will see prices go up.
People that think, well, Ford and Chevy are going to be exempt, or Chrysler, from the tariffs, that's not the case, because Ford and Chevy, like Honda, like Hyundai, like all of them, do make cars outside of the United States.
Heading over to Miami International Airport, their number 1 imported good, they import 91% of the country's flowers.
I believe in him. He's a businessman.
Something Holy Land Flowers owner Eliza Daga knows all too well. All of her flowers are imported from South America.
I love Trump, and give him the chance. Don't start. Let him try.
She expects her costs to rise, but said she's going to work to make sure it's not passed on to her customers.
No, it's a little bit more high, but it's okay.
That was Morgan Reiner reporting. It is the primary worry for many people in South Florida and across the country. What will the tariffs do to our already high food prices? CBS News Miami's Yvonne Taylor explains when you might see another price spike at the grocery store. That's ahead on CBS News Miami at 5. And taking a live picture now from Miami International Airport. Later this hour, President Donald Trump will arrive in town. The president will attend an event at Trump National Doral. It is ahead of this week's Live Golf Tournament, and then he'll head to Mar-a-Lago later tonight.
Always alerting, always tracking. This is Next Weather.
The start of the 2025 hurricane season now just less than 2 months away, and just hours ago, we got a first look at the predictions for the season. Let's get right to Next Weather Chief Meteorologist and Hurricane Specialist Ivan Cabrera to break it all down.
Yeah, we're going to break it down in just a couple of minutes here. I want to talk about our local pattern here as we continue with some cloud cover and a couple of showers streaming in. You can see that on that southeast flow. Not a huge deal, but again, it'll bring us some light showers over the next couple of hours. This little stream there, particularly heading into into portions of southern Miami-Dade. That's about all we'll deal with here. Temperatures in the low 80s right now, and we'll dip into the upper 70s, and those 10% rain chances, kind of a little nuisance shower activity the next few days. Temperatures still warm. In fact, we're going to climb and get well into the 80s here. That's going to be the trend through the weekend and into early next week. We have warm, humid conditions and then breezy as well. Gusts at times between 20 and 25. You can see their next weather rain tracker as we pick up on a few showers developing southeast and headed to the northwest. Our pattern really isn't going to change because we've got this area of high pressure that's blocking everything and anything from getting into our area that would produce any significant change in our weather. That's going to hang out there for quite some time. Part of the reason why you're going to be seeing just incredible pictures out of the Midwest and Tennessee Valley heading up to Ohio as well because of a stalled front, which eventually pays us a visit with some rainfall next week, but it doesn't move all that much because that high is just in the way. Eventually, the high weakens, moves east. There comes the front and brings us the best chance of showers and thunderstorms heading into next Tuesday. Weekend still looks fantastic, so we don't have to worry about that. Rip current, though, that's still out there as far as a high risk. Southeast winds 10 to 15, and we're looking at a small craft advisory for the Atlantic waters. Rough stuff. In fact, very rough conditions near shore for the Florida Keys as we take a look at the forecast for your Friday. Finally Friday, temperatures in the 80s with those minimal rain chances, only about 10%. I think we're looking good there. Next weather 7-day forecast will feature temperatures in the low 80s and mid 80s, and there you see the front coming in on Tuesday. High rain chances, but behind the front we're actually going to cool down. Lower humidity. Look at those 60s there. We'll take it here in April, and then low 80s for high temperatures with diminishing rain chances. Now let's talk about CSU. So Colorado State University, one of the entities that puts out, the forecast as far as the hurricane season is concerned. They do it, and they do it very early here. And in fact, April is, from their own words, their lowest forecast as far as the accuracy, right? Because we still have a couple of months to go and a lot of data still comes in. National Hurricane Center does it at the end of May. Here's what they're thinking, and the signals are there basically for an average or a slightly above average season. And the reason for that is that we're not going to be in a La Nina, which we always talk about, or El Nino. We're kind of going to be in between, and the water temperatures are not the record numbers that we saw last year. So we typically have 14 storms. They're forecasting 17. Half of the storms typically become hurricanes. They're forecasting 2 above, and then 1 intense hurricane. The reason for the intensity not being as high forecast as last year is because the water temperatures just aren't as warm. Here's the bottom line, though. I want to leave you with this. Regardless of whatever preseason forecast you hear, it is not set in stone, and all we need is one storm to make it a bad season here. So we don't want to focus on that because you're going to be hearing from dozens of entities, some qualified, some not. CSU has a great reputation. But, to me, you plan ahead as if one is coming, right? Whether we have a forecast that is 30 storms or that is 5 storms, you prepare for that one that could eventually impact our area. And of course, we'll keep you posted as we head into the next couple of months. We'll get more information. We'll have a big hurricane special, and NOAA will come out with their forecast by the end of May. Najahe, back to you.
Ivan, thank you. Happening now, jurors are deliberating the fate of Antoine Reagan. He's accused of going on a deadly crime spree in South Florida that left a child dead. He's on trial for the 2013 murder of a man at a Motel 7. Reagan opted not to testify in his own defense. The jury got the case around 11:15 this morning. CBS News Miami's Peter Dinch is in the courtroom. He will have a live update on the case tonight starting at 5. New details this afternoon. It is on a man found dead inside of a cooler. Oscar Peraza is facing murder charges. Officials say he beat a man with a metal pipe outside of a bar in Northwest Miami-Dade and left his body inside an ice cooler. Workers who serviced that cooler found the victim. They identified him as Moises Fidel. He's a 65-year-old father of 3. We spoke to his family, and we'll have their story coming up on CBS News Miami at 6. When we come back, it's a big weekend on Fort Lauderdale Beach. What you need to know ahead of the Tortuga Festival. Next.
Prices of condos are falling, so why aren't they selling? Fears over future repair costs and special assessments.
Definitely taking a hit to support these kind of expenses. So why are we building more condos in South Florida?
Tonight at 5:30.
Welcome back to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. It is going to be a big weekend on Fort Lauderdale Beach. The annual Tortuga Festival kicks off tomorrow. Chopper 4 flew over the setup earlier today. The music begins tomorrow and lasts through Sunday. Artists like Keith Urban, Luke Combs, Jelly Roll, and more will take the stage starting tomorrow. If you're going to the show, there are some safety preparations that you need to be aware of. Our Ted Scouten will have that for you coming up on CBS News Miami at 5. Another deadline is fast approaching for the social media site TikTok. A new bidder has also entered the picture, Amazon. CBS News Miami's Wendy Gillette reports from New York.
Some of you really need to hear this.
The deadline for TikTok to change its ownership is Saturday. The Trump administration says it's confident a deal will be worked out in time, avoiding a possible TikTok shutdown for 170 million users in the U.S.
I think that we're in a good place. We're going to keep on working at it.
CBS News has confirmed Amazon has expressed last-minute interest in buying the company, joining other contenders including Blackstone and Oracle. The White House says TikTok needs to separate from its Chinese parent company ByteDance to keep users safe.
You want to make sure that the TikTok app in the United States is not spying on people. Right. That's good for national security. You also want to give people access to this incredible platform.
Congress passed a law last year to force the sale of TikTok, upheld by the Supreme Court. President Trump delayed its enforcement to allow more time to work out a buyer. But some lawmakers warn TikTok's ownership is not the only potential problem.
If we've got a result and the algorithm resides in Beijing, it is all a sham.
President Trump held a meeting Wednesday in the Oval Office about the sale. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
On his first day in office, President Trump granted an extension to sell part of the app after users lost access to the platform for a short time. And that does it for your CBS News Miami Quickcast. I'm Najahe Sherman. Stay tuned for more news right here on CBS News Miami, and have a great day.